Life is going to test you, and I mean really test you, repeatedly, sometimes in ways you expect, and other times in ways that will knock the wind out of you. But here's the truth. It's not the obstacles that determine your success. It's your mindset. You might have heard stories of great people overcoming impossible odds. Maybe you've even experienced moments in your life where you felt like giving up. We all do. But what separates those who rise from those who remain stuck? The answer is what I call the awake mindset, a way of thinking, seeing, and acting that allows you to use adversity as a tool rather than an enemy. This video isn't about toxic positivity or pretending everything is fine when it's not. It's about understanding how challenges shape you and how you can respond in a way that turns obstacles into opportunities. Part 1: The Power of Perception. Obstacles, failures, setbacks, these things aren't new. They've been around forever. But if you study history, you'll notice something fascinating. The greatest minds, the strongest leaders, and the most resilient people all had one thing in common. They saw their challenges differently. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, faced wars, plagues, and betrayal. Yet he wrote in his meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He understood that while we cannot control circumstances, we can control how we react to them. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor, found meaning in suffering when everything was taken from him. His conclusion: the last of human freedoms is to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. Now, let's bring this to you. Take a moment. Think of an obstacle you're facing. Maybe it's financial stress, career struggles, a broken relationship, or self-doubt. Now, ask yourself, am I seeing this clearly? Is this situation truly stopping me? Or is it just forcing me to change my approach? Most people react emotionally. The awake mindset starts with clarity. When an obstacle appears, don't panic. Pause. Breathe. Look at the facts. Part 2: Ownership, no more excuses. The biggest trap people fall into when facing obstacles is blame. It's not my fault. The economy is bad. I wasn't given the right opportunities. They didn't treat me fairly. Listen, I get it. Life isn't fair. But fairness has nothing to do with success. If you want to move forward, you have to take ownership. Period. Let's be real. It's easy to feel like the world is against you. But the moment you say, "This is my responsibility," you take back control. Example: think of an athlete who blames the referee for losing a game. Complaining changes nothing. But the player who says, "I should have trained harder, played smarter, been more disciplined," that's the player who will grow. Ownership is power. If you believe external factors determine your fate, you're powerless. If you believe your actions determine your fate, you're unstoppable. Part 3: Transforming obstacles into action. This is the key. Obstacles are not roadblocks. They are directions. Thomas Edison's lab burned down. Instead of giving up, he said, "Thank goodness. Now we can start fresh." Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first job. That failure forced her onto a different path, the path that made her a global icon. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers. Imagine if she had stopped at the first no. There would be no Harry Potter. When you're faced with a challenge, ask, what is this teaching me? How can I adapt? Where is the opportunity in this? Many people wait for perfect conditions to act. The truth? The best conditions come from facing the worst ones. Part 4: Discipline over motivation. Motivation is overrated. Comes and goes. Discipline, though, that's what keeps you going when things get tough. When life gets hard, do you rely on fleeting motivation? Or do you have habits in place that keep you moving no matter what? If you're waiting to feel ready, you'll never start. If you're waiting for circumstances to be perfect, you'll always be waiting. The awake mindset is built on showing up daily, whether you feel like it or not. The path forward. Now, let's bring it back to you. Take that challenge you thought of earlier. Now, apply what we've talked about. See clearly. Don't react emotionally, look at the facts. Take ownership. No blame, no excuses, just responsibility. Transform it. How can this obstacle become your advantage? Be disciplined. Show up, take action, move forward. Obstacles are part of life, but they are not the enemy. They are the very things that shape you, refine you, and make you stronger. So the next time life throws a challenge your way, pause, breathe, own it, and ask yourself, how can I use this? That's the difference between those who stay stuck and those who rise. That's the awake mindset in action.